Welcome back to Series 3 of the Lisbon Sessions. In this episode, David Russell speaks with Melissa Gonçalves.
Hi, good morning everybody. Welcome to Season 3 of the Lisbon Sessions. The gimbal is playing up again. It could do anything. It's got a mind of its own. Please, if anybody from Gimbal's watching, send me a new one. I'm joined by a veteran, shall we say, of the Golden Visa space and the Lisbon Sessions, Melissa Gonçalves. Melissa is an expert, independent consultant and lawyer in the Golden Visa space. We'll pop Melissa's details up at the end of the show. For anybody watching, this has been recorded. Bit of a timestamp, what are we on, 9th, 10th of September 2025. And if there are any legal changes in the meantime, we'll pop them up so that we don't look out of date. Melissa, welcome to Season 3.
Thank you, David. Thank you for having me.
We're back in the glorious Cascais. It was pouring with rain earlier, but we popped into Paul, had a quick coffee, and it's brightened up massively. In fact, it's actually a little bit too sunny. So we're meandering down one of the nice side streets in Cascais. Melissa, lots of things getting kicked about Parliament, people out there sitting in London, California, all over the world, looking at Golden Visa, terrified with every announcement that the programme is ending. What is happening in Parliament?
Right, so the Golden Visa still stands. There are no immediate changes. Okay. In terms of legislative status, it's still under review, which means when the proposed changes came out to the nationality law, there was a lot of buzz, there was a lot of commotion, a lot of noise. So we basically had to comfort our clients that were very concerned regarding the potential changes, specifically with the Golden Visa and citizenship, because the proposed change would mainly change the residency permit regarding citizenship from 5 years to 7 years, if we're talking of CPLP, which is Portuguese speaking countries, to even 10 years. So based on fact, based on the law, and we ensured our clients what's going on, what are the proposed changes. What we know at this point, it was suspended, the voting was suspended to continue in Parliament from September onwards, most likely fall of 2025. And the Parliament sent the bill to the President, it was vetoed, and what we know, it was declared inconstitutional from our constitutional court.
So that is now down the road until October.
Exactly.
And could go longer.
Could go longer.
So as I always say, Bill, I've said it before, genuinely do consider joining the queue and not delaying. If you look at certain investment funds, such as New Frontiers, you can ask for your money out of the fund if situation changes negatively for your residency or citizenship. So it's worth, I don't like to say gamble, but it's worth getting involved and getting the clock ticking while all this noise goes on, because the noise around the Golden Visa never changes.
That's true.
Yes. And please, at every stage, if you're worried, contact people like Melissa to say, is the programme ending? Because that's all we get. All we receive at New Frontiers is worried investors saying, I think the programme's ending. It is not ending. In fact, and something we can come on to, I believe that even Chega, which is a slightly more right-leaning party in Portugal, all political parties in general, apart from a few sort of tweaks, are pretty happy about the Golden Visa.
They are. Why? The reason why, it's a very popular program. It continues to be a very popular program. For example, unlike countries, for example, Greece, where your citizenship, you have to be living in the country for 7 years before you can apply for citizenship.
Yeah.
Portugal is 5 years, and will maintain hopefully that requirement. And Portugal or the Parliament do not want to have any provision that will affect the Golden Visa program, namely create any disadvantage. So they want to maintain, as a small country that we are, Portugal, competitive advantages. They want to attract investment. They want to attract foreigners in Portugal, which will be investing in sectors in need in Portugal.
Well, again, that brings me on to something, and we call it in our presentation, guys, on the New Frontiers presentation, the spirit of the Golden Visa. Now, the Portugal government came up with the Golden Visa program circa 2012, I think it was. Was it? So,
Came out in 2012, correct.
so we're almost at 15 years, guys. And you know, they did it for a reason. That was to drop money into Portugal, obviously. And I think something like 2 billion is coming into Portugal now on an annual basis, which is not to be sniffed at in any way. But they mandated certain asset classes that used to include real estate. That was removed for it was politically sensitive. They felt that it was potentially inflating prices out with the reach of the local population. So fair enough, that was removed. But there's certain asset classes, renewable energy for one, agriculture, etc. And I think what I'm finding, listen, people are investing in various funds, is that more and more so they're inclined and attracted to funds that are doing something positive for Portugal.
Correct. That's the tendency.
It's getting that way, and I would say more so than ever now. They say, well, look, I'm investing my 500,000, but during the time that that's invested, I would like to feel that we're benefiting and enhancing, you know, essential infrastructure in Portugal. So that's definitely something I would say is very topical. On the funds, anything else in terms of you're dealing with a large array of different investors. Obviously, they have to invest 500,000 across the board into funds or a fund.
Correct.
Any particular areas that they're looking at?
It usually depends on what we consider the client's profile or risk tolerance. Some clients like to have a more risk profile, which like to go, for example, to cryptocurrency, for example. Others are more moderate, but the tendency is a less risky profile of a client in terms of funds, more focused on renewable energy, for example.
Yeah.
I think that would be the top investment from clients who are tolerant, medium to low risk.
No, I mean, I would say certainly in terms of renewable energy, guys, for anybody watching out there, to give it a quick sales pitch for New Frontiers, even if you're just solely interested in return,
Correct.
purely just want to make profit, you really couldn't, in my opinion, choose a better sector to invest into over the next 5, 10, 15 years than renewable energy, solar, wind in Portugal. It is a really booming part of the economy. And obviously with a part of that 2 billion annually from Golden Visa funds being attributed there, it's really, really growing considerably. So that is my sales pitch. Melissa, as always, it's been delightful having you on the sessions.
Thank you.
Please come back season 4, because it would be great to have you update us on any changes that have come to pass in the Parliament.
I will do.
Keep watching, everybody, here on the sessions for all the relevant updates and information. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.